to another episode of Looking in the Mirror. I'm your host, Monique Nolly, and we have special guest again, Shatina Williams, coming in with us. Thank you, Shatina. Today, we are talking about the struggles of being an entrepreneur and how do you make time for yourself. As an entrepreneur, we're busy. We have these ideas. We have these tasks that we have to do. We have these personas that we come up with. We have so many different things going on at different times or at the same time sometimes throughout the day. We have family. How do you make time for yourself so that you do not lose your mind, which a lot of us feel as though we're on the verge of losing our mind? How do you make time for yourself? One thing that I have learned is that it's extremely important for me to make time for myself, regardless of whatever is going on in my life, regardless of what's happening, either in the working environment, in the home, in my personal life. I have to make time for myself. What I do is I love to carve out time to make sure that I have time for me personally, is reading the Bible, meditating on the word. Trying to get clarity, trying to understand what is my purpose? What am I going to do? What steps do I take? And how do I get to those particular steps? How do I take those steps? So, Shatina, what is it that you do in order to make time for yourself? How do you make time for yourself? And when do you realize it's time to put the brakes on because you're becoming overwhelmed and you need to step back, take a breath, breathe? What is it that you do? What is your routine?
Truthfully, I made one New Year's resolution this year, and my one New Year's resolution is to be the healthiest I can be. Mm-hmm. And since I made one resolution, I was like, I can hold on to one thing for a whole year. So in that, I want this to be my health this year, and I want to start, because I'm be honest, I wasn't trying to do backflips. I was like, I'm gonna start. And by walking every day, like when I was taking my daughter to school, it's maybe like an hour and a half between when I drop her off and when I need to be at work. So I would walk 1 hour before I go to work. But what I didn't realize I was doing is I was making time for myself. So in that 1 hour, maybe I would pray sometimes. I would listen to an audiobook, but I would make sure that I walked. And then later on, maybe a few months down the road, I was like, you know what? I can walk after work. And I found out that was not the same feeling. So I decided in the mornings, I'm going to walk. And even now, school is out in the summer, and I upped my walking goal to do 10,000 steps a day. I just picked a random number, but me keeping that commitment to myself, I posted on my female physicist on my Instagram, just to keep me honest and to be like a written record. Like, you know, in the Bible, they had an altar of remembrance. So like my Instagram is like, I remembered, I post every day. This is the steps I did today. These are the steps I did next day. Now, the other thing about it, this doesn't take a lot of brain power. I'm just walking. And the phone records how many steps. And I just take a picture of it. But I promised to myself, because I know in the past, I will keep everybody else's promises. And I break every promise I make to myself. Like, I'm going to drink water now. I'm not going to drink all this juice and this soda. I'm not going to be eating out all the time. And then I'll be right there at McDonald's. Can I get a number something with the extra large this and the ice on the side? But then I realized at one point, this does not make me feel the way I want to feel. Like, in my mind, I'm a whole elite athlete. You know, I'm getting back to that. But how do I get to those steps? And that has nothing to do with business. So that's how I'm able to hold on to it. This isn't about the next dollar sign. This isn't about the next marketing gimmick. This is about me living my best life wholeheartedly, like a well-rounded life. Like, after I make the millions of dollars, am I going to be south of France, walk down to the water and touch it with my own hand, or am I going to be in a wheelchair?
Yes.
And when I look at it that way, like when I go to Australia, am I going to be on a private jet going to Australia because they have to lower me down into some kind of little hover around machine because I can't walk? Or when I go to Australia, can I stay for like a month in like a villa and walk around and meet people and do things? What quality of life do you want? And I know I want to be mobile. And my family, because sometimes it takes looking at an auntie, looking at an aunt, your favorite auntie, and looking at them now and looking at where you are now. I was like, if I don't change, I'm gonna look like that.
Yes.
No, but I
Mhm.
schedule it. So I actually have a schedule every morning to get up. I just say an hour walk because the 10,000 steps I think takes 2 hours. So if I do that hour walk in the morning, over the course of the day, I'll get the other steps. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So every morning. And if I fall off, I'm not mad at myself.
Hmm.
I don't beat myself up. I was like, I'm going to walk some more tonight.
Yes.
And that's it.
I love that.
I'm kind to myself. Sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. And that's
Very
something
hard.
where you can't make time for yourself because you're beating yourself up the whole
Mhm.
time. Who wants to hang out with a bully? I'm
Exactly.
not
You're
hanging
either
out with
beating
the bully.
yourself up or you're too busy taking care of, as you
Mm-hmm.
stated, someone else. And that's something that
Yeah.
as single mothers that we just automatically take care of other people. We automatically put other people first. And
Gotta
I
do it. I gotta
recently,
do it. I gotta do it.
yeah, I recently had a birthday and I remember telling you, I don't even celebrate my birthday. I told one friend, and so I was like, I don't celebrate my birthday. And she said, why don't you celebrate your birthday? Good question. Because
Right.
all of my energy
Mm-hmm.
is into my kid. All of my energy has always been into my kid. If it was not into my kid, it was into the business. I never made time for me. And I think that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs have to realize is that we're so busy
Mm-hmm.
putting in into other people and making sure that other people are
Yes.
filled up and they have what they need, whether you
Mm-hmm.
are a teacher or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you're doing. You're giving a service to someone. You're giving a service to your
You are
students. You're giving a
excellent.
service to your
Excellent
colleagues.
service to everybody else. You're giving them top
Yes,
tier,
top tier.
5 stars,
Mm-hmm,
Michelin star service.
mm-hmm.
And then when
But
it
what
comes
are
to
you
you, you
giving
gave
to
it a
yourself?
bag of chips.
Exactly. But what are you giving to yourself? Whatever's left over. And that's not good enough. It's
If
not.
that, or I'll get some for me tomorrow. You don't even give yourself the leftovers. You save the leftovers for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Save it for somebody else. And that is what is
Yeah.
extremely important. I think that's what a lot of entrepreneurs don't seem to understand. That's
Mm-hmm.
why a lot of people get burnt out, even if you're not an entrepreneur and you're on a regular job. As we know as
Yeah.
teachers, we both have a history of teaching. So we know you put
Yes.
your all into it, you get burnt out. And in order
Mm-hmm.
not to be burnt out, you have to make sure that you fill yourself up. You have to make sure that you get the
Yeah.
fuel that you need, whether it's spiritually, mentally,
Mm-hmm.
physically, as you stated, you put in steps. For me, what I did, I
Mm-hmm.
was doing 10,000 steps every day, just walking around anyway. I didn't even realize that I was doing the steps every day. So you can do it
Right.
without even thinking about it. You can put
Right.
effort into it. And like you said, wake up an hour early, or you just
Mm-hmm.
do it so often throughout the day that you don't even realize that you're doing it. Before you know it, it's already done. But while I'm
And
giving,
congratulate yourself when you do it, even if it was
yes,
accidentally. I did
mm-hmm,
10,000 steps, girl. Good job.
mm-hmm,
Congratulate yourself. I
mm-hmm.
remember growing up, people like, oh, you're being vain, you're being this. No, you're not.
No,
You need to be your cheerleader
have to.
because without you, there is no MVP in your life. That's what I say on my little on my
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and my YouTube. I just keep reminding people, without you, your life story does not exist.
It doesn't.
If
And a lot
you're
of
not
people don't
there,
realize.
you don't have a life story.
Mm-hmm. You don't. You
You
have
are
to
not
be
like
going.
the main character energy. That's
Mhm.
you.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's funny you should say that. It's something that my daughter actually said to me the other day. She is in college and she's doing her own thing. And, she got her first job. So I'm helping
Okay.
her, maneuver with all of that. And she actually told me, she said, mommy, she said, sometimes I feel like I'm what do you call it? In a movie, when you're in a movie, but you're a stand-in. She said, I actually feel like an extra in my own movie. And
Mm-hmm.
when she said that, I was like, oh my God, I love that. You don't want to feel like an extra on the sidelines in
Exactly.
your own movie. And you know that
Right.
you were created to star in your own movie, but you're an extra. When she said that, I said, oh, I love that. And that it made perfect sense when she said it. She was just
Mm-hmm.
simply saying that she didn't feel as though she was living up to her potential. She wasn't making herself happy. She wasn't doing things that made her happy. And she had to come to a point and realize and say, okay, I need to cut some things out of my life And I need to replace those things with things that are going to make me happy so that I can be the star of my own show.
Right.
And I actually love that.
Yes. Like I like to be outside. So as you noticed, the last 2 times I've been outside, I like to be outside. I want to see the green. I just realized at some point, I don't know, I didn't even think it was a big deal until I realized I really like being outside. But when pay attention to yourself, or maybe you're somebody who loves the library and just going.
Okay, thank you for those that are patient and that are still with us. There was a glitch in the system, but we are back. And we were talking about when my daughter stated that she felt like she was an extra in her own movie. And I was saying how I completely understand that, because you feel as though you're not living up to your capabilities, you're not doing your best, you're not being fulfilled, you're not happy. What do you need to do to become the star of your own story?
Okay, so number one, you need to realize that you are your own MVP. Like if you keep treating yourself like everybody's assistant, like everyone's go-to person, like the gopher. I remember they always said the gopher in the office, go for this, go for that, go for this. But if you never really let people know, you know what, this is what I'm doing with my life. And even for the people who don't want to accept it, if you never tell anybody that you're about business, how will they know?
Exactly.
I'm taking this hour in the morning. Do not call me. I know you want to tell me about everything in your life. I'll call you back, or stop answering after a certain time, because I know certain times in the morning, certain people call me, they're not going to get an answer because you're not going to mess my day. Because I know you, all you want to do is steal, kill, and destroy my peace and happiness, and not on my watch. Like Ayana say, not on my watch.
Not on my
You
watch.
have to protect that time that is for you, because if you not only if you start taking that time for self-care and to take time for yourself, but somebody's going to be like, oh, you have free time, so we can do this. Time is free. That's busy in your calendar, non-negotiable. I have a standing appointment with me.
Exactly. I love it. A standing appointment with me. And that is extremely important, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're in the working force, working a regular 9 to 5. That is extremely important to make sure that you do that, because like I stated earlier, you can have burnout. You will get burnout. I've seen people burn out on the jobs. I've seen people have meltdowns on the jobs because they're burnt out and they don't know how to say no. They don't know when to put the stop sign up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this time out for me. Now, one question I have for you is, say you are in the middle of a meeting, whether it's dealing with your business, your personal business, your financial business, whatever the business is, what it is that you do, but you feel yourself being overwhelmed at that moment. What is your advice for people, for entrepreneurs, for teachers, for people that are in the corporate world? What is your advice to them when they are in the moment? They are surrounded with other people, but they feel that anxiety coming on. They feel that stress. They feel that boiling up. Their blood is boiling. What do they do in order to stop so they won't have a complete meltdown, which I've seen many people do? We're human. So it's, we're adults and we're only human. What advice can you give to those people for them to do at that moment in order to stop that from happening?
I feel that if you have any control over how long meetings should be, you should be able to set how long a meeting will be. Like you shouldn't be stuck in a meeting that might be 2-3 hours. Maybe that's not your threshold meeting time. So if you can control how long the meeting will be, I say 45 minutes tops. Tops.
Yes.
And that's if they started on time, because they start late, that clock is already running to that 45. You know what? I have another meeting in 15 minutes. And it doesn't matter if it's true or not, because it is true. That meeting is with who? It's with you.
Exactly.
Your 15-minute meeting. And then if you can't control the length of the meeting, go to the bathroom. What are they going to say? No?
I love that.
Especially go to the bathroom.
I absolutely love that. Making what I like to say when it comes to something similar to that is kind of like if you go to a psychologist and they have a time, your time is up. Regardless, your time is up. And when you do that, when you set those boundaries and say, okay, I have 30 minutes, I have 15 minutes, I have 40, how many ever minutes you think that you need, especially if you know who you're talking to, or you know what's going on. When it's coming. There's a certain point in your life and in your adulthood when you know that it's okay, this is about to take place. I know where you're taking me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for me to exit left. When you come
And
to a
how much
state,
time? How much time
exactly,
do we really need to talk about whatever it is?
whatever it is, because a lot of people will just go over and over in circles. And a lot of times people will push you. And I'm
Right.
speaking professional people as well as people that aren't. These can be colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
This can be anyone that does that. People, that's just people do that. Like you said, seek, steal, and destroy. People are on assignment, and you don't realize
Yes.
their assignment is to irritate you for the day. Their assignment is to get you out of your comfort
Mm-hmm.
zone, to get you to the point to where you snap. That is
Right.
literally their assignment. You have to recognize that. And when you recognize that,
Right.
okay, you're on an assignment. You know what you need to do. I'm going to exit left. Okay, that's it.
Exactly.
It's over. It's it. Okay, nothing else to discuss. Had a wonderful conversation. However, you need to end the meeting or end the conversation, in the meeting, in the conversation, so you won't get yourself worked up to a point, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to get to a point to where you completely blow a gasket, make yourself
Right.
look like an idiot, and whoever is around you, if they're business partners, they may not even want to work with you because you don't know how to handle yourself. You don't want to get
Right.
yourself in a position like that, because reputation basically is everything. Word of mouth is everything. People,
Yeah.
word, everything comes back to something comes back to everyone. Somebody's going to hear something, even if you think that you did something, or okay, you lost your cool,
Mm-hmm.
and it was only two or three people in the room. Guess what? Those two or three people are going to go out and tell.
Told
It's going to
everybody.
get exactly. It's going to get around. If
Talk
not, it's
about
going to go. It's
marketing.
going to go viral. Even if they don't have it videotape, someone's probably going to go on the TikTok and say, I was with her, and just say something about you. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position where something can come back and bite you in the butt, or something can come back and hurt you.
Mm.
So always,
Oh,
no matter who you're dealing with, give
one
yourself the
thing, good
frame.
thing, have the I want to say itinerary. I don't know what's
Mhm.
called, but have that little, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what are the things we're addressing in this meeting? And
Hmm.
if you go off to the side, let's just focus on the meeting right now. So I would say never ever go into a meeting if they don't tell you what they're going to talk about, because
Hmm.
I feel like that is how they blindside 95% of everybody. When you go into a meeting, oh, you need to meet with the principal. About what? I don't
Exactly.
know. So
About
I'm
what?
not even going. I
Hmm.
remember before they had to call me, oh, you need to go to the principal's office. Oh, okay, because if it's important like that, I should know what's going on.
Hmm.
We're meeting, it's important. What are our objectives for this meeting?
Hmm.
Because if we don't have objectives for this meeting, why are we meeting? They can't
Exactly.
blindside you then. Okay,
Hmm.
here's the objectives. These are the 3 points. After that, we're done. Don't
Hmm.
feel like you have to drag the meeting out. We
Yes.
handled all three. We done in 15 minutes.
Hmm. And that's
Let's
part of
go.
being a professional. That's part of being a professional,
Mm-hmm.
coming in with the objectives, coming in with your checklist. I always have a checklist. Wherever
Yes.
that I have some sort of checklist, something, whether it's on
Like,
my
we're done.
paper, there's always something all over the place to keep
Yeah.
me in the know of what's going on, keep me on track, not just to keep them
Mm-hmm.
on track, but to keep me on track, because I
Yes.
wander onto something else. I will get on a whole different subject. And that is,
Yes.
you have to make sure that you stay on topic,
Mm-hmm.
so you won't get off
Yes.
topic and then be out of character. You
Yes.
don't want to do that. So those are important things to do in order to help make sure that you have the right mental
Yes.
health, make sure that you're keeping yourself healthy mentally, spiritually, as well as physically. We're so busy taking care of other people, or we're so busy meeting the deadline, making
Yes.
sure that all of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, that we're not
Mm-hmm.
basically sitting back and taking a look at ourselves to make sure that we're okay. And before you know it, we're sick with the flu, or we're sick with strep throat. It's something going on with us because we're not taking care of ourselves mentally,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, or physically. And you mentioned that you do making sure that you walk every day. I know you said earlier that walking in the evening was different from walking in the morning. Is that because you think that walking in the morning will actually give you that energy to go throughout the day?
It's different because in the morning it's a fresh slate. In the evening, I'm thinking about everything that happened through the day and like replaying stuff. It's not as fresh of a walk. So truthfully, for the evening walk to be as effective for me, I need to walk longer. So I'm not just rehearsing those conversations.
Yeah.
Like I like to walk. It's like, what was I thinking about? Like I need to walk long enough to forget about that. Because in the morning you wake up, it's a beautiful day. Birds are twittering.
Yes.
I'm not thinking about that stuff. But at the end
It's
of
a
the
fresh
day, after
start. It's a
school,
fresh start.
the kid pissed you off. Your partner pissed you off. The people can't drive, and now I'm walking. I can't believe that. Then it's like you have to detox. But
Yes.
summertime is different. I can handle an afternoon walk in the summer because I'm off for the summer. That's why it's the same. But when school is in, it's a whole different ball game. And the
Totally
traffic
different.
is different traffic in the morning and in the afternoon.
That is very important.
Yeah.
And I would also like to put in, I would also like to say eating healthy. That's something that a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, a lot of people that are busy, we find ourselves stopping to get fast food. And that wears
Are you drinking water?
yes. And how many bottles of water are you drinking a day? I know some people that don't drink water at all. I don't even see how they function. I don't understand that. Their bodies are just built differently. I don't get it. Me, I personally have to have at least 6 or 7 bottles of water a day in order to make it. I just have to. I have to stay hydrated. And eating and what you put into your body, drinking and eating is extremely important. And that is something that I make sure is on my list in order to make sure that I stay healthy and in order to make sure that I'm putting time in for me, because that's part of self-care.
I found a hack for the water thing because I want to drink more water, but I don't like how the gallon jug looks. I just don't think it's cute. So
It's not.
I actually bought a cute little cup. Might be 24, 30 ounces. I don't know. But I have my cup. I think it's cute. I have a little metal straw. So I want to drink out of it. And since I want to drink out of it, I'm drinking more water. So it's kind of like, yes, I want to drink more out of my cute cup, out of my cute straw. So that's the thing.
Like
you fill it up and you drink it. And it's fun to walk around and drink because I feel it. That's how people get hooked on the coffee in the first place. It's cute to walk around with a coffee mug and sip it all day. Put some water in there.
Makes you feel
some ice
important.
cubes.
Makes you feel special, like you're actually doing something because you have a coffee cup. Yeah.
Right.
It makes total
it's
sense.
It's not the $50 cup. It's the regular one. I got a little Turkish tumbler. It was on clearance at Publix or whatever food store y'all have, but it was on clearance. It's cute. I like it, and that's what it is. Get something that you're going to use, not what's in style. Because if you're not going to use it, you wasted your money.
And this is, before we end, I want to say there's something that is important to me and something that I had to realize is whatever we put in to motivate others, we have to put in to motivate ourselves. We are constantly trying to come up with ideas in order to get a service out there, in order to motivate people to look at our site, in order to motivate students, in order to do their work, whether it's to motivate a student or to motivate a client. We have to do things to motivate ourselves.
Exactly.
Very important because we don't do that. What can I do to motivate me? What is it what will make me get up out of the bed in the morning and do what I need to do? What will make me put my best foot forward? What will make me want to, because there are some times when you're going through a depression or you're just going through a hard time. You don't want to get your hair, you don't want to comb your hair, you don't want to put on makeup, you don't want to do anything. You have to motivate yourself in order to do the simple things in life so that you can be successful. And that is also part of self-care. That's part of self-care, doing something for yourself, making yourself want to do something rather than doing for others. Okay, what would you like for somebody to do for you? Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. You do it. That's your motivation that you can use. Is there any other advice that you would like to give in order to make sure that you give yourself self-care and put yourself first in order to make sure that you are successful in your business and in your personal life?
Start small. Yeah, I'm doing 10,000 steps now. Yes, I'm walking for an hour now. It was not an hour when I started.
Yep.
I set a timer. I was like, I'm going to do 15 minutes one way and I'm going to walk back to the car and that's it. That is how it started. I set a 30-minute timer. Okay, I'm gonna walk 30 minutes. And I was like, it's taking forever for this timer to go off. It went off, I went straight back to the car.
Yep.
But you have to start where you are. It maybe you're starting with going to the mailbox and then coming back. Okay, now go to the mailbox, come back twice. but you have to start somewhere and keep the promises you make to yourself. You said you're going to get your nails done on Wednesdays. Do it. Because if you do it on Thursday, it's not the same. Keep the promises you make to yourself and make smaller promises. Sometimes we give ourselves the moon and then we can't do it. Start small.
Realistic expectations.
You don't want to drink sugar. You don't want to drink soda. You don't want to drink. Stop buying it.
Exactly. I love that. Like, that is excellent.
I got to where I only drink it when I went to a restaurant. So since I'm not going to restaurants, I was like, oh, wow, I can't have soda because I'm not in the restaurant. But I kept that promise to myself. We break promises to ourselves all the time. We really got to get out the habit.
We do. We really do. I love that. Well, I want to thank you for joining us again. Shatina, thank you for coming on. And thank you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I am Monique Nolly, and this is Looking in the Mirror podcast. We talk to women from various backgrounds, whether you're in education, whether you're in the corporate world. I help women get started in their entrepreneur business. I help them figure out what it is that they want to do in life. I have a background as teaching. Shatina has a background as teaching. I've had my own tutoring company, an author. So what I do is I take everything that I've learned and I help other women get started doing what it is that they love to do so that they can have the financial freedom that they deserve. And Shatina, tell everyone what it is that you do as well.
All right. I am also the female physicist. That's my name on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram and also on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel and it's full of videos. I actually have 153 videos, like clap, clap. Because I remember when it was one and I was like, how are we going to do it?
Great.
So follow me on there for inspiration about wholeness, wellness as a teacher, about not just your students, but don't forget about you. And I'm also going to start some group coaching for new teachers or veterans who just kind of tired of it. Don't quit yet. Yes. Okay? Don't quit yet.
So thank you for joining us. Thank you again for Shatina, and I will see you guys next time. Have a blessed one. I'm Monique. Have a good one. Bye.